Uh-oh. There we go. Uh-oh. I don't have the printout of the workout. What did I do with that thing? All right, well, hang on. I will be ready to go in just a second. I'm going to go grab the printout. You can hear me walk backwards back through my house.
Camera on this. Yeah, the camera doesn't work.
Okay, so we are doing essentially the same workout as last week. So let's go ahead and start our warm-ups. Get rid of this. Hopefully my... All right, so you're ready. We're going to start with a tall standing body. So feet are hip distance apart and parallel. Squeeze your glutes together in the back. Pull your ab muscles in towards your belly button. Pull your shoulder muscles and your back muscles down towards your tailbone and bring your hands to the front of your thighs. From here, we're going to inhale and raise the hands up in front of our body all the way up, reaching for the ceiling nice and high. And then we're going to exhale and bring the hands out nice and wide. Keep those palms facing forward. Do big snow angel. When you get to the bottom, inhale and bring the hands back up. Pull your shoulder blades together in the back as you're bringing those hands up, and then exhaling back down again. And inhale up. And bring your hands together, and we'll bank ourselves over to the right, shifting our weight to the left foot and letting our eyes drift down to the floor. So pretend you're going up and over a giant imaginary beach ball. And then we'll inhale up and go over the imaginary beach ball that's now on our left side. Weights on our right foot, eyes drifting down the floor. And inhale up to the top. And drop your hands. And we'll do some trunk rotations here. Keep your eyes focused on something in front of you. And you're going to pull one shoulder back and then pull the other shoulder back. We keep the eyes straight ahead so we can work on getting our body to move underneath our head. We're going to learn how to do this because we need to do it on the bike. Keep the head stable while the body moves underneath. And now we'll march in place. So we'll bring the foot straight up, leave heel first, dropping the toe towards the floor. Pick the foot straight up in the air. Bring the knee up nice and high. Push the opposite foot into the floor. We're going to move the arms opposite the legs. And the arm movement is in the shoulders. The elbows are pretty much locked in at 90 degrees, and we're just going to move those shoulders back and forth. Okay. Make sure you're picking those knees straight up in the air, picking the foot straight up. So don't march. Or what I should say is don't be the drum major. So don't kick your feet out like the drum major in the marching band. That's going to cause you to throw your head and shoulders back to counterbalance, which will put strain on your low back.
With the percentage.
I did.
Yep. Okay. Don't forget to mute yourselves. All right, come on down from there. And let's go ahead and we'll work the upper body. So palms facing forward, hands up at the top. I shape. We're going to pull the hands straight down. The elbows come out and around and down into a W shape. You also want to be pulling your shoulders together in the back so that your hands are at about your ear level all the way there. So staying in line with your ears. So you're pulling back. It's called a wall stretch because you'll sometimes do this with your back against the wall and you're trying to keep your hands against the wall all the way down. So pull back with the shoulder muscles. You want to inhale as your hands come up. You can exhale as you pull the hands down. So pressing up and pulling down and pressing up and pulling down. Let's stop at the bottom. We're in our W shape. Let's rotate in the shoulders and make an M shape out of our arms. Back to the W. Back to the M. Into the W. Into the M. And W. And M. One more time, W. One more time, M. And we'll now just shake the arms out, nice and gentle. Okay. That's what we're going to do next. So let's grab our extra light mini band. So that's either going to be a green or a light blue, depending on which set you have. We're going to put the extra light mini band. We're going to do some scapular retraction, otherwise known as scaption exercises. So hands inside, thumbs on the outside, and we're going to start with our palms on our thighs, just like the start of our first stretch. And I want you to pull your shoulders together and pull your elbows around the sides of your bodies. So that's putting tension on that band. From here, keep that bend in your elbows and bring your hands up so that your arms are parallel to the floor. Now, you're going to pull your elbows wide and back, trying to get up a 90-degree bend in your elbows, and pull the hands wide at the same time. So 1, 2, 3. Keep the arms parallel to the floor. 4 the whole time. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hands go wide. Your hands don't come to your chest. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're going to hold open as wide as we can, and we're going to do little pulses at that wide part. You should feel this between your shoulder blades. Make sure those elbows are staying nice and high. Elbows should be pretty much even with your shoulders. And come on down. Next, we're going to bring our hands down, elbows to 90 degrees, and we're going to pull our hands apart so our forearms are parallel. So palms face each other, forearms parallel. From here, we're going to just press our hands up to the ceiling. Imagine, if you will, you have a wall right in front of you. And so in order to get your hands up, you're going to run them right on the wall, all the way up to the top and all the way back down. Be careful when you're doing this that you keep the arms parallel the whole time, so you have to keep pulling the hands apart. It's actually your shoulders that are pulling your hands apart, not your arm muscles, but your shoulder muscles. All the way up, extend all the way up high and pull back down, and all the way up high and pull back down. Okay, let's stop now at the bottom. Bring those elbows to 90 degrees. Glue your elbows to your sides, and now pull your hands apart. The elbows stay at your sides, so you're rotating the shoulder again. This is another shoulder exercise. These are all shoulder exercises. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, and on 10 here, we're going to open up as wide as we can and do little pulses nice and wide. And come on down. All right, let's set that band aside. Next up, we will do YTAs with step forward lunges. So the YTA portion, bring your hands together, palms together, press them together, and extend them out. You want your arm parallel to the floor. That's called protraction of the shoulder blade. Notice how the shoulder rolls around to the front here. We're then going to retract the shoulder blade, pull the hands back, Y, T, and A. All right, we ready? So start with those hands pressed. We're going to add to that because that's kind of easy. So we're going to add a step forward lunge or step backward lunge if you've got knee issues. In the step forward lunge, keep your feet hip distance apart and parallel. I'll talk more about lunge mechanics as we're going. Ready? And here we go. 5 sets of 3 on each side. So Y, T, and A. In your lunge, your front knee presses over your toes, over your shoelaces. Remember, those feet stay hip width apart. Your back knee is behind your hip, so you open up the front of that hip, on top of which you're coming over top of all 5 toes. So don't let your foot roll. It's real common to let your foot roll to the inside and only come over top of your big toe. You want to come over top of all 5 toes. Last set on this side, Y, pull those shoulders back and together. T, pull those shoulders open. A, let's switch legs. Other side, Y, T, and A. Only come as deep as you are comfortable into your lunge. You don't have to come all the way down if you're not comfortable. You can stay up nice and high. Just want to get the blood flowing here. Just make sure you're keeping those feet hip distance apart and parallel. Front knee over the shoelaces, back knee behind the hip, coming over top of all 5 toes of that back foot. Last set right here, Y, T, and A. All right, last warm-up exercise. We're going to do little toe hops. So toe hops, we're just pushing with our feet. We're just going to bounce up and down on our toes. Get those calves warmed up. Little toe hops. This is like skipping rope, by the way. If we all had jump ropes, we could skip rope and do this. We're going to do this for another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's take a water break. And when we come back, I'll explain our, what do we got? I think we got 9 exercises. We're going to do 3 sets of high intensity intervals. Moderately high intensity intervals. All right. So our first exercise is going to be a front plank. And we're going to do our shoulder taps and our mountain climbers. Mountain climbers are slow. The shoulder taps are slow. We're going to take our time. See, I will come. I think you can see me better from about this angle here. So, hands underneath the shoulders, feet back. Want to be in a nice long plank. So make sure that you're keeping your glutes active, your belly button's drawn in here. And then we're going to do 40 seconds of these. We're actually 45 seconds and then take a break. So everybody up. Let me see everybody up. And here we go, 45 seconds. Shoulder tap, super slow. Shoulder tap. Knee to elbow, knee to elbow. You can do the knee to elbow to the same side elbow. You can go across the body to the opposite elbow. Either of those work. You can even come around the outside and do a Spider-Man. You can even do one of each with each rep. Take your time, nice and slow. We want to own the movement. We want to teach our body how to do this the right way and do it slowly and deliberately. So when we speed up and we're doing stuff on the bike, we got it all down. 3, 2, 1. Come on down, take a child's pose to rest. Okay, next up is going to be the rotating side plank. Easiest version of this is going to be with our forearms crossed, feet hip distance apart. So we start in a front plank and you roll onto one elbow and up and onto the other elbow and up. That's the easy version. The harder version is in a push-up position and you roll out. You want to definitely keep your feet hip width apart. And I got to move stuff because I'm off the mat. All right, we ready? So push-up planks, everybody up, 45 seconds, starts now. If you want, if this seems too easy, you can throw in a push-up in between. I don't think I'm going to be doing the push-ups. I'm still nursing a banged up right shoulder. So push-ups are not kind to my shoulder yet. And come on down. So that was 45 seconds. Next up, we're going to do seated rows. So grab a heavy band. I'm going to go with my red heavy band. You could go with a yellow medium band. We're going to put the band over our feet. We're going to do a couple of different kinds of rows. All right? We're going to sit on our sit bones nice and long here. And I just realized that I should probably turn that. I will stop when we stop in between sets here and adjust that camera. I realized that it's slid a little bit and it's now up. So grab the band in a palms up grip. So palms facing the ceiling, thumbs out to the side. Pinkies are together. Sit up nice and tall. Notice the shoulders, like our YTAs, are like we start our YTAs. The shoulders are protracted. Retract your shoulder blades and use that to pull your hands apart a couple of inches. And then we row right into the bottom of our rib cage. Ready? We'll do a set of 12 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now we're going to turn to palms down grip, thumb and forefinger together, pull the hands apart, same thing, and row into the bottom of the rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're going to do, well, uh-oh, that's unfortunate. This band is going to break soon. All right, we're going to do single arm rows. So palms down grip with my right hand, left hand up in the air, and you're going to pull. You're going to do a little 90-degree rotation with your wrist so that your palm faces the side. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reach that left hand up all the way as high as you can. And 12. Let's switch sides. Left hand, right hand up in the air. Raise that right hand up nice and high. Palm faces forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next, come on up to standing, and we will do our Romanian deadlifts. So Romanian deadlifts. We're going to have the band over our feet, just like we did for the rows, standing on the band. For the deadlift, we're working on it's also known as a hip hinge. We're working on the hinge on the hips. So start with your hands on your thighs. Butt goes back, your hands slide down to your knees. When your hands get to your knees, they drop straight down towards your shin, towards the middle of your foot, and you're going to grab your band with both hands. Same thing as with our rows, we're going to pull the hands apart with our shoulders and then stand up. We're pulling up using our back body nice and tall. So down and back up. This should not get into your lower back. If it's in your lower back, it's because you're not pushing your butt back far enough. If it gets in your quads, it's because your knees are coming forward. If it gets into your shoulders, it's because you're not pulling your shoulders down. You're pulling your shoulders up. You want to pull your shoulders down. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, step into your band and bring the band up above your knees. Whenever you bring the band up above your knees, remember to bring your feet together first. All right, we're going to come now into a slightly wider than hip distance stance. And we're going to push our knees out into the band, and we're going to come into a little mini squat. So about halfway down into a squat with our knees pushing out into the band. That's it. No knees collapsing in. From here, we're going to come up on our right leg. So you're going to pick that left foot up and press the floor away. You're only lifting that foot up about 2 or 3 inches. 3, 2, 1, and now over to the left foot. Balancing on the left foot. Keep pushing the right knee and the left knee into the band at the same time. And back to the other side. So keep your upper body nice and straight. So don't flip over. Don't lean to the side. Stay nice and straight and tall. Let's come back to the left and stay nice and straight and tall. So even though I'm in my squat, I shouldn't say straight and tall. What I'm saying here is if I had a zipper, my zipper is straight up and down for the most part. I'm not tipping all the way over to the side, keeping that zipper vertical. Okay, now this time we're going to come up on the right foot. We're going to turn 90 degrees and put our left foot down, pushing both knees into the band. Then we're going to come up on our left foot and bring that right foot around 90 degrees. So pressing out 90 degrees and 90 degrees. We're going to do a circle. So 90 degrees and 90 degrees. Keep pushing those knees out into the band. This, and let's keep going. We're going to do 2 circles in one direction and 2 in the other direction. So we're balancing on one leg for just a moment, rotating, and then coming back with the other leg. This is sumos with the rotation. All right, let's stop after 2 and go the other direction. Make sure you're keeping those feet a little wider than hip width the entire time. Pushing those legs out, pushing those knees away. You also want to have your knees over your shoelaces, maybe even over your middle two toes. And come up for just a moment and rest. So we did 2 in each direction. Now we're going to come back into our wide stance and we're going to do body weight squats. If you want, we can do them as goblet squats. If you have a weight, you can grab a weight and hold the weight up nice and tall. So for body weight squats or goblet squats, we're coming down only as deep as we can keep our upper body and our shins parallel. So I'm not bopping over here with my upper body. I'm staying nice and tall, coming down as deep as I can. 3, 4, 5. Make sure you come all the way up to the top. 6, 7, 8, 9. Push those knees out into the band. 10, and forward over the toes. 11 and 12. Anytime we're doing the squat, we want to have our feet a little bit wider than our hips, parallel or slightly out turned just fine. Okay, let's come on down to the floor. Keep that band above the knees, and we're going to do glute bridges next. So bring your feet to within a hand span of your glutes. Mostly I just reach down, and if I can touch my heels with my fingertips, I'm close enough. Feet are hip distance apart and parallel. Knees are pressing out into the band. What we're going to do from here is we're going to bridge ourselves up to the top as one unit and right back down again as one unit. So ready? Keep your palms on the floor. Start by pushing all of your vertebrae, all of your spine from your shoulders all the way down to your tailbone into the floor. All right? Hold that solid. So pull that core in, and here we go. Up, 1, and down. Up, and you're going to hold at the top, and then down. 2, up, and hold at the top and down. 3, keep pushing those knees out into the band. 4, keep your spine all as one unit. 5, make sure that all the vertebrae are on the floor at the bottom and back up again. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And roll yourself up to seated. Take the band off. Our last exercise is the skater's lunge. I'm going to clip my sandals on because otherwise my feet will come out. All right, skater's lunge. We're going to start our skater's lunge with a big wide stance. So we are twice hip width here. Feet are parallel. When we're doing our lunges, we want to keep these feet parallel. We're going to step back. When we step back, that foot doesn't have to stay parallel. So here it is. Stepping back and behind. I'm going to reach down with my right hand and touch my left toe. I'm going to come up that big stride across and over on the other side. This is the skater's lunge. We're going to do these for the next 45 seconds, starting now. Keep your head up. Keep your eyes looking forward. You don't have to do these fast, but you want to go deep. You want to go as deep as you can so that you're using your glutes and your quads. Again, it's a lunge, so the knee's going to track over the shoelaces. Don't let the knee track to the outside. Don't let the knee track to the inside. And done. Set 1 complete. Take a water break. All right, well, maybe that's better. It's hard to say. All right, ready for set 2? Front plank with shoulder taps and mountain climbers. Everybody up. Good. 45 seconds starts now. Shoulder tap, super slow. Shoulder tap. Knee to elbow, knee to elbow. Remember, we are doing this under control. Want to be as controlled as we possibly can, taking our time. So it's going to be shoulder tap, shoulder tap. Knee to elbow, however you want to do it. Knee to other elbow, however you want to do it. Ten seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Take a child's pose to rest. Okay, next up is the rotating side plank. So you can do that front plank either on your elbows or in a push-up position. And let's see everybody up in their front plank. Ready? 45 seconds starts now. Rotating side planks. Throw in that push-up if you can. Make sure that you are going slow enough and controlled enough that you're not flopping all over the place. 3, 2, and 1. So when you come into those side planks, make sure that you stop, pause for just a minute in that side plank and hold it. You're holding the plank solid, even that front plank all the way through. All right, next is going to be our seated rows. So on our sit bones, band goes over the feet. We're going to start with our palms up grip, sitting nice and tall, pull the hands apart, and then row in to the bottom of your rib cage. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Turn to a palms down grip. Remember that anytime we're pulling shoulders first. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And let's go to our single arm. So left hand up in the air. I'm going to turn and face you a little bit. Raise that left hand up nice and high, and then row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, and 12. Switching to the left hand, right hand up in the air, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Stand up, and it's time for our Romanian deadlifts. So again, the band goes over the feet when we're standing up, just like it was for our seated rows there. So here we are. Remember, the goal of this one is the hip hinge. So let's start with the hip hinge. Hips go back. We'll slide the hands over the knees. Let the knees go soft, and we'll drop the hands straight down and grab our band. And then we stand up nice and tall. You're not pulling with the band, or your arms, I'm sorry. Your arms are just extended, holding onto the band. Any pulling work is done with your back body. This is directly relatable to what Ian coaches us for how to use our back body to pull that front end of the bike up. This is the deadlift, the Romanian deadlift, the RDL. This is it. 9, 10, 11. You should feel this in your hamstrings and your glutes. And 12. All right, step into your band. Bring that band up above your knees. Step back out to your slightly wider than hip distance stance. And we're just going to do the sumo rotations this time. So you ready? So we're going to come up on our right leg. Rotate 90 degrees. Bring the right leg back around. Rotate 90 degrees. Put that left leg down. Balance on the left leg. Bring the right leg back around. 90 degrees. And back around. Knees push out into the band the entire time. We stay down in our squat the entire time. We're going slow and controlled. Don't just throw your leg out there. Control it. Feel how those muscles work. We want that control. This is going to come in handy. We're going to stop after 2 rotations and go the other way now. Whoops. Too much talking, not enough paying attention. So we're going to continue. I'm sorry, we're going to do 2 of these. So I was going to say, this comes in handy if you're on a long descent and you're up out of the saddle and you're in your attack position. This is working your glutes and your hamstrings, mostly your glutes. Good. Now, if you have a weight, grab your weight. We'll do our goblet squats next. So you ready? Goblet squats, we only go as deep as we can keep our upper body and our shins parallel. 1, 2, knees press out into the band the whole time. 3, 4, we come up really tall at the top. 5, squeeze those glutes. 6, keep your tailbone extended down towards the floor the whole time. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Weight down and come on down to the floor. Glute bridges. We're going to add to the glute bridge this time. When we get up to the top, we're going to do a clamshell. So here we are. On our back sides, we've got our heels handspan from our glutes, feet hip distance apart and parallel, pushing those knees out in the band. We're going to come up to the top. We're then going to open our legs up as wide as we can, let our feet roll to the outside edge of the feet, come back just to hip width, and then lower ourselves down to the floor. So push all of your vertebrae into the floor to start. Tuck your chin in so you're not pushing your head into the floor. And let's go up and clamshell and back down. 1, up and clam. 2, 3. Make sure you come all the way up to the top before you clamshell. 4 and 5. Push those knees out into the band. 6, 7. When you're resisting coming back, take your time. 8. Don't just let the knees snap back. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. Roll yourself up to seated position. Take the band off. And last exercise of the second set, we're doing our speed skaters again. We're doing skater lunges. We're not doing speed skaters yet. Is everybody up? All right, 45 seconds starts now. So skaters lunges. We're not jumping across. We're just striding right now. We're not going super fast. Make sure each time you plant that front foot, it's parallel to the front foot on the other side. Drive across. Really push yourself across. Extend the leg all the way out before you put the other foot down. Keep your head and shoulders, head up, shoulders pulled down your back so your chest is high. This is your attack position on the bike. Stay in an attack position. 3, 2, 1. All right, water break. All right. Change for the third set. We're going to do our front plank, shoulder taps, and leg extensions, or knee to elbow, but instead, we're going to do it in bear crawl position. So we're going to switch to mule kicks as opposed to knee to elbow. So come into a quadruped position. Make sure you've got a neutral spine. So you can do a cat camel real quick. Find halfway in between. That's your neutral spine. Hands directly under shoulders. Knees are directly under our hips. Tuck your toes underneath and press yourself in so that your knees come about 3 inches off the floor. From here, we're going to do shoulder tap, and then mule kick, mule kick. Ready? 45 seconds starts now. Take your time. Do these controlled. When you're doing your mule kicks, try and keep your waistline parallel to the floor. You're going to feel this a lot in your glutes and your hamstrings and your quads, as well as your core. You got to pull that belly button in. You got to remember to breathe, so draw your diaphragm down and into your rib cage. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Seated rows. We're going to do these a little bit different. So we're just going to start with the band on both feet and do our single leg rows first. Single arm rows first. So palms up grip, palms down grip, and left hand up in the air, and right arm pulls in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Remember, as we're pulling, we pull shoulders first. That's that scaption that we did with our YTAs. Palm up, palm down on the grip, hand up in the air, and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Take your right foot out. Put your left foot in and shake it all. No, that's not how it goes. I mean, it is how it goes, but that's not how we're going to do it. So we're coming out into a V shape here. You want to bring your legs as wide as you can in your V and still have all 5 toes pointed at the ceiling. You're then going to reach across with your right hand and grab the band in a palms up, so palm to the ceiling grip. We're going to do a single arm row again, but we're going to add in a trunk rotation. So we're going to face our left foot. We're going to finish facing our right foot. So let's get that left hand up in the air. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Switching to the other side. Feet nice and wide. Palm up. Grip. Hand up in the air. Here we go. Single arm rows with trunk rotation. 1, 2, kind of a wood chopper. 3, 4. Remember, we pull shoulder first. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Standing up, it's time for RDLs. So we're going to be standing on our band, hands over the feet. Pull the pants up again. So ready? Hips back, reaching down. Notice flat back here. Keep your tailbone extended out in line with the rest of your spine. Both hands grab the band, and we stand up all the way up as tall as we can. So squeeze those glutes together. Stand up super tall. Try and reach your head for the ceiling as you come up to the top. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure that butt goes way back. 8. The knees don't come forward at all. 9. Knees stay over your heels. 10, 11, and 12. Step into your band. Bring your feet together. Bring that band up above your knees. We're going to come into our mini squat. We're going to do lateral steps, side steps. So here we are in our middle half squat, knees pressing out into the band. And we're going to do little 3-inch strides to the side. So we're going from slightly wider than hip width to slightly wider than that to back to slightly wider. Stay down in your squat. The lower you can stay in your squat, the more work you're going to get out of your glutes. So stay down nice and low. Be real clear about each step. So as you step forward, this is just like the sumo. We're picking one foot up and then the other. We're keeping the knees pushing out into the band the whole time. We're also driving our knees forward over our toes. We're going to do these for another 20 seconds. We're just going to go back and forth a few times and then even it out in the end. Stay nice and low in your squat. So don't hinge at your hip, at your waistline. So remember, squat, shins and upper body stay parallel. I see a couple of you that are bent over. That's not helping you any. That's actually hindering you. Bring your head and shoulders up so you can see ahead of you. And time's up. Let's come on down to the ground, and we're going to do our glute bridges. We're going to do single leg glute bridges now. So for the single leg glute bridge, we're going to set up the same way. So feet hip distance apart and parallel. I want to bring those heels up nice and close to our glutes. So I actually, for single legs, I bring my heels a little closer than to the double leg stuff. We're still pushing the knees out into the band. Now we're going to take and extend our left leg all the way out and hover that heel about an inch off the floor. Push the heel away, pull the toes towards the nose so the leg is nice and straight. We're going to then drive through our right heel and bring ourselves all the way up into our glute bridge, keeping the waistline parallel to the floor. No swinging the leg. That's cheating. No cheating in my class. Palms on the floor, elbows dug in, and away we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's bring those feet back in. Set yourself up at the start so heels nice and close to your glutes. Reach down and make sure you can at least touch your fingers to them. Now let's extend the right leg all the way out. Hover that an inch off the ground. And we're pushing through the left heel. Dig those elbows into the floor. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Come all the way up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Waistline stays parallel to the floor. 9, 10, 11. No swinging those legs. And 12. And come on down. Roll yourself up into a seated position. Last exercise of the last set. Skaters lunges. If you want, you can turn these into speed skaters. All right? Speed skaters are where you're doing you're going to do a little leap across. But you only do that if you have people downstairs that you don't like or you're on a concrete surface. All right, we ready? So starting with our feet nice and wide. And let's step over to our left, and away we go. 45 seconds. Remember, we're keeping the head and shoulders up nice and high. Even though we're reaching down and tapping our toe, that's because the hips are going back. Okay, we're not dropping our upper body. We're keeping our upper body nice and high. Why did I say 45 seconds? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Water break. Whew. That get the heart rate up? Everybody else breathing hard, I hope? All right. Next, back to the mini band and on the floor. We're going to do, actually, you know what? I got a better idea. Let's do this without mini bands because there's a couple things I want to do where the mini bands just get in the way. All right. So, on our back sides, tabletop position. Hips at 90 degrees, knees at 90 degrees, ankles at 90 degrees. We're hip width apart at the knees. We're hip width apart at the feet. We're going to bring our head and shoulders up off the floor, hands together and behind the head for support, and elbows out super wide. From here, keep the 90-degree bend in the knee and lower down at the hip. Put your heel on the floor, come back up, and do the same thing with the other leg. So notice the knee isn't flopping around here. I'm staying 90 degrees in the knee. Ready? We will do 12 on each side. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. If you want to make this harder, and 5, you can extend the leg out and drop it down and come back. And 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, and 12. And come on back up into tabletop. Glue your legs together now from heels all the way to the groin. Now we're going to come into a clamshell. We're still keeping the head and shoulders up, by the way. Heels stay together, and the feet and toes, our feet and our knees come out wide into a clamshell. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me here. So see how I'm nice and wide? Now we're going to hold that clamshell, and we're going to dip our heels to the floor and come back up. We'll do 12. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Come on back up to the top. Glue your legs together again. Let your feet flop at the end of your ankles. Pull the feet apart. Keep the knees together. And now we're going to put the soles of our shoes on the floor and come right back up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are extremely hard. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, come on back up into your tabletop. Put your head and shoulders down on the floor. Put your arms out into a T, palms on the floor. You're going to now roll yourself to your left only as far as the right shoulder stays on the ground. You can even turn your head to the right if you want. We're going to come up over the top, come over to our right only as far as we keep the left shoulder on the ground, and you can turn your head to the left. And back to the left, and then over to the right. And let's make sure we're turning our head and looking the other way. We're going to inhale up and exhale down. And inhale up and exhale down. And inhale up and exhale down. Let's do one more to each side. Over to the left, back to the right. Stop in the middle and roll yourself up into a seated position. All right. Next, we're going to do clamshell series. So come on down onto your side. Line yourself up on the back edge of your mat. You want to have your head, your hips, and your heels lined up on the back edge of your mat. Knees bent to 90 degrees. Feet together and your toes pulled up towards your nose. From here, find that pelvic crest, that piece of bone, that bony bit right above your front pocket, and roll it forward so it's in front of the one that's on the floor. From here, we're then going to keep the feet together. We're going to bring the knees apart only as far as we can keep that pelvis from rocking back. So it's not as wide a range of motion as you think. If we rock back and roll open, we actually stop using our glutes, and we're not doing anything but hurting our backs. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are clamshells. 5, we'll do 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now the knees are together and the feet come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't let the hip roll forward here. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Ready? Whole leg and fire hydrants. Again, we don't let that hip rock. 2, 3. The shin stays parallel to the floor. 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep that ankle locked in place. 8, 9, 10, 11. And on number 12 here, we're going to keep the leg high. We're going to keep the foot high now. Rotate down and kiss the knees together. Come back high. Keep the knee high. Kiss the toes together. So knees and toes. There's 2, 3, 4, again, limit your range of motion. 5, if you need to. 6, to keep that hip from rocking. 7, keep the pelvis from rocking. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now extend the leg all the way out, push the heel away, pull your toes towards your nose, and draw little circles with your heel. Does not matter that these little circles don't look like little circles. Make sure that you got a straight leg, that your leg is parallel to the floor, that the inside edge of your foot is parallel to the floor, that the sole of your shoe is pointed at the far wall. And let's go the other direction now. Little circles the other way. The more you pull your toes towards your nose, the better you can push your heel away. And come on down, we'll flip it over to the other side. So on the back edge of your mat, all lined up, head, hips, and heels all lined up on the back edge of your mat. Knees at 90 degrees, feet together, toes are pulled up towards your nose. Find that pelvic crest on the top. Roll it forward to the one on the bottom. Keep that sucker in place. It's staying there. We ready? Feet together, knees apart, and clamshells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, limit your range of motion. 6, if you need to. 7, to keep from that hip from rocking. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, knees together and the foot comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now the whole leg in fire hydrants with the shin parallel to the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and on 12, the leg stays high. Rotate down and kiss the knees. Come back high and kiss the toes. 1, knees and toes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Extend the leg all the way out. Push the heel away. Pull the toes towards the nose. And let's draw little circles with the heel. Remember, the leg and the foot are parallel to the floor. Inside edge of the foot, that is, are parallel to the floor. Sole of your shoe is pointing at the far wall. Little circles. Push the heel out to draw those circles. Let's draw circles now the other direction. Don't worry that circles don't look like circles. They will never actually look like circles, and that's fine. It's the attempt to use those rotator muscles. They will get smoother as you keep doing this, but they'll never be perfect circles, and that's fine. 3, 2, 1, and come on down. Let's roll onto our backsides, and let's do a glute stretch next. So set yourself up like you're doing a back bridge. So bring those feet to within a hand span of your glutes, feet parallel. Now we're going to cross our left knee over, or sorry, our left ankle over the left knee, right at the top of the knee there. We create a little hole here. We're going to thread our left hand through that hole, grab our right thigh with both hands, and pull back. You can do this with either your head and shoulders off the floor or your head and shoulders on the floor. I think you get a little bit better stretch with your head and shoulders off the floor, but that's me. Pull the toes of your left foot towards the knee. Pull the toes of your right foot towards your nose. Bonus, you can actually activate your hip flexor of your right leg and pull that knee towards your nose with your leg muscles too. And let's put both feet on the floor. Set ourselves up like we're doing a glute bridge again. Cross the right ankle over the top of the left knee. Thread the right hand through the hole. Both hands grab the left leg. And we're going to pull. Remember, we pull the toes of the right foot towards the knee and the left foot towards our nose. Three, 2, 1. Come on up. And let's come up to a kneeling tall body position. So kneeling tall body. When we started the night out, we were in standing tall body. So it's feet hip distance apart and parallel, and our glutes active, our core active, our tailbone nice and straight. Kneeling tall body, same thing except we're on our knees. So his knees are hip distance apart. Our feet are hip distance apart. They're just behind us. Glutes active, core active. Extend the tailbone towards the front of your knees. So it's just a little tiny pelvic tuck. From here, we're going to take the right foot, bring it straight forward into a lunge, right over top of all 5 toes, into a lunge position. So I've got this kneecap over my shoelaces here. I've got this hip with the knee behind the hip. We're still hip width, squeezing both glutes, and then we're going to take and place our hands above the knee and press down. Yeah, if this bothers your knee, definitely get a pad, an extra pad to put underneath your knee. We're going to press down and away. Pull your shoulders down your back. Seeing some shrugged shoulders. Pull those shoulders down. Everybody pull the shoulders down the back. Lean in. We are trying to get this kneecap towards or even over the bottom of our middle 2 toes. Okay, put your left hand on the thigh, right hand out, palm to the floor, and you're going to come up over the top in some big windmills with a trunk rotation. Turn your eyes so you're looking at your hand in front, look at your hand in the back. Don't try and track your hand over the top. That way dizziness lies. Stay as deep in your lunge as you can while you do this. Last one, and come on back. Let's find a neutral position and bring our right foot straight back over top of all 5 toes, left foot straight forward, and lean into your lunge on the other side. So again, we start with the kneecap just over the shoelaces, back knee behind the hip. Extend your tailbone straight down towards the floor. Both hands on the thigh, pull the shoulders down your back, press down and away. We're working on trying to bring this left kneecap over our shoelaces towards our middle 2 toes. Should actually say second and third toes. All right. Right hand stays attached to the thigh, left arm out, palm down to the floor, and we'll do a big windmills here. Two and one. Okay, bring yourself back to a neutral position. Right back, feet together, knees out nice and wide, and sink back onto your heels. We want to have our shoelaces on the floor for this one. So we're stretching the top of the ankle, the top of the foot. We want to have our knees nice and wide, so we're stretching the inside of the thighs here. All right, we're going to work again on the inside of the thighs. We're going to work on our hips a little bit. So we're going to walk our hands forward. Feet stay together, knees stay wide, and the hips come along for the ride. If I turn sideways, you can see what I'm talking about here. Hips coming along for the ride. So we're stretching the inside of our thighs here. This gets into that psoas again a little bit. Make sure that you're extending your tailbone down towards your toes and that you're squeezing your glutes together and you're drawing your belly button in, all of which is to protect your low back. All right, press your palms into the floor. Bring your hips all the way back. Keep your hands on the floor so you're extended out nice and long in that upper body so you get a nice little stretch out of your shoulders, and then drop your elbows to the floor. If you can, see if you can spread out enough that you can keep your heels and your hips in contact with each other, your sit bones on your heels, and be able to get your head to the floor. Of note, I can't. I am not that limber. All right, let's rock ourselves forward. We're going to come into a quadruped position, so bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, tuck your toes underneath, press your toes and hands into the floor, and come up into a downward facing dog. Huckleberry, this is your time to shine. Push your heels into the floor, both heels into the floor, both palms into the floor. Those palms pressing into the floor are going to open up your shoulders. Pressing those heels into the floor, we're going to get a nice stretch out of our calves and a little bit out of our hamstrings. Now, walk your hands back towards your toes, and we'll hang in a hamstring stretch for just a moment. Let your arms dangle. Let your head dangle. You can get a little bit of traction in those shoulders and your neck. Now, we're going to use our back body to pull ourselves up from the top. If this seems like a familiar position, this is the bottom of a hip hinge, except we've let our shoulders and our head dangle. So pull those shoulders down and together, pull the back muscles, and then the calves, the hamstrings, and the glutes. Bring ourselves up nice and tall. Let's bring the hands out to a T, palms facing forward. We're just going to drop the arms. There's a couple of big arm swings. Come up to a Y, and then all the way up over the top into windmills. Super lazy. As little energy into these windmills as you can, and we'll stop at the top, and we'll go the other direction now with our big lazy windmills. 1, 2, and 3. And that is it, gang. That's the workout. Basically the same workout as last week. We will do the same workout again next week, and then we will go from there. Anybody got any questions? You can take yourself off mute and ask questions. No? Really, truly, you should do this workout at least twice more between now and next week. If you can't do the whole thing, do as much as you can. Maybe just do one set instead of the central workout instead of 3 sets. Do one set. But try and get some of these exercises in. You really want to work on your core. You want to work on your hips. You want to work on your glutes. And you want to work on your back and your shoulders, because we want to be able, we're on that bike, and we're if you're sloppy on your bike, let's see, I'll pull over here and show this. So we're on the bike. If we're here on the bike and we're strong, it's real easy to pull up and bring that bike up with you. If you're not strong, this is what happens. Shoulders droop, belly droops, you sag, then you're trying to pull the bike up with your arms, or you're getting lazy and you start pushing the bike into the ground because somebody told you that compressing your fork is going to make it come up. So we're here, we're solid, and we're pulling up. And we're here and we're solid, and we're pulling up. And that's all of these muscles in here that are pulling me back up, and these muscles in here that are supporting me so that I can pull up. All right? Got it? Go forth and have fun. Shred on. And
Thanks for
hopefully,
coming, everyone.
yeah, hopefully we get a ride in on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
bye-bye.
no, there's no ride on Sunday.
Oh, there is no ride on Sunday. That's
Yeah,
right.
there's no head coaches around.
Okay.
So hopefully ride tomorrow, and I actually also no ride Friday. We're heading out of town. So we're kind of hitting our holiday shutdown, but except for these power hour workouts, which are great to do.
Okay. So are we going to do Power Hour next Wednesday? Or next Tuesday?
I'd like to. It'd be great if we saw the RSVPs and there was enough people, but
okay.
I'd like to see that it gets done.
Okay. So the other thing you guys can do, this workout is recorded, so you can listen to my lame jokes again and watch the recording. And then you can critique my lame jokes.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks for coming, everybody.
I asked the coaches if people wanted